The WNBA conversation is getting louder, and once again,
gets
two
the
of the biggest
offensive
names in
rebound and
basketball
throws it
are right
back
in the
up,
middle.
plus the foul.
Caitlin Clark and Angel
Team
Reese.
rallied twice
But
in the
this
Southland
time,
Conference
the
tournament.
debate is bigger than the rivalry. It is about
Overhelping, and
MVP
then
level
Dallas making the
performances,
appropriate
clutch
pass on
moments,
first.
team
Caitlin Clark
success,
does not need
individual
much
struggles,
space here.
media attention, and one comment that could send basketball
NCAA
fans
championships
into
and
another
WNBA
massive
titles.
Caitlin Clark has been putting together the kind of performances that force everyone
Why they
to
had
pay
16
attention.
assists.
Meanwhile,
Cunningham off to
Angel
Clark,
Reese has
right
continued
wing.
to face criticism over missed
shooting, that was
opportunities
a
and
wild
inconsistent
sequence
finishing
there.
around the basket. So, is this really an
Ball
MVP
poked away
race?
into the
Is
hand.
Caitlin Clark becoming the most valuable player in the league?
Nado can't get it
And
to
why
go.
is the comparison
Three
between these two
is
stars become
good.
more intense than ever?
There's the
Let's
first.
get into it. Caitlin Clark
Clark
didn't
the
just
switch
put
on to
together a
Dolson,
few
steps
good
back
games.
and buries.
Hands
She
of
went on a
Nurse, and
run
now
that made the
Vandersloot.
MVP conversation impossible to
Oh,
ignore.
that's
Clark with a little
During the
fall away,
stretch
got it.
against Portland and Seattle,
boy.
Clark delivered huge numbers and showed exactly why she has
20-26
become one of the
for
most
Caitlin
dangerous
Clark.
offensive players in
Triple.
basketball.
Turns,
In
ducks
one
in,
game,
back then late
she
stays
recorded
with
a
the
triple-double
block
with
behind.
26
the way you run the
points,
transition,
10
and Reese
assists,
flies
and 10
in
rebounds.
and one.
Then she followed it up with another explosive performance,
What will the team do
scoring
without
32
said
points
Starts
against
off the
Seattle
third
on
quarter
extreme
with-
efficiency.
Here's Hines
And
Allen
when
getting
people
it
thought
and
the hype
going.
couldn't get any bigger, Clark delivered another
looking to
massive
push,
game,
cross-court pass.
reportedly putting
Lots
up
of-
45 points and 10 assists. That is a type of performance that
for me,
changes the
take Caitlin Clark
conversation.
off the floor. I mean,
Clark
that
isn't
just
just
creates-
scoring. She is creating offense. Every time
Hand
she
off
touches the
Mitchell.
ball, the
Mitchell.
defense has to make a decision.
Oh, back to
Do they
Clark.
trap
She
her?
will launch.
Do they stay
And
home
bury
in the
it.
futures? Do
Coming
they
off the
help
pick
inside?
is Monique. She's
And
got to
no
throw it
matter
up.
what the defense
Block
chooses,
so many issues
Clark has
for
shown she can
Iowa.
find an answer.
Tough shot
That is
there.
what
Got it
makes
to
her
go
so
into the
dangerous.
lane. Can't
She can
pop
pull
it
up
in.
from
Boston
deep,
flings it
attack the
out.
basket,
Clark, second
find the
quarter,
open
and Clark
teammate, and
doing it with
completely
some
change the
defense.
pace of the game.
By
Her impact
Reese.
also goes beyond her own points.
Across the
When
country.
Clark is running the
That's Cunningham.
offense,
I don't care if
players
you're the
like
first, second,
Aliyah
or third
Boston
line
and
of
Kelsey
defense.
Mitchell
That's a
benefit from the
Good deep
attention she
three.
receives.
You bet.
Boston gets more opportunities around the
Up with the
basket.
block.
Mitchell
And
gets
then
cleaner
Lexi
looks
Hull
on the perimeter.
finds her.
And the
Fever
entire
back.
Indiana
And in
offense becomes
WNBA
harder
land,
to defend. That is why the MVP
problem for you,
conversation
she
is
applies
becoming
so
so
much pressure
interesting.
with what she does with the
MVP
ball.
does not
Talks
simply
about
mean
what a
who
smart
scores the most
cutter
points.
she is,
It
how
means
great she is
value.
off the ball.
How
Clark
much
within
does a player
4.
change the game for her team?
Shannon
How much
defense
does
by
the
the Sparks
offensive
fan.
Tip goes to
How much
Chicago, and
better
we're
are the
underway
players
here at
around her? Because
Wintrust,
she is
and
on
a
the floor.
quick
Clark with a
And
triple.
those are the
Yes.
questions that continue to strengthen Clark's case.
Everybody in the
She has
behind
also
the back.
collected
Oh
multiple
my.
player of the week honors and
Nifty
continued climbing
dime.
through the record books.
6
For
on the shot
Indiana,
clock. Clark,
she has
a
become more than just a
move
star.
and quick
She
score
is the engine.
off the tip.
And when the
in
engine is
attendance
running
here
at
at
full
Win.
The
speed,
world knows she's
the
going to
fever
take
can be extremely
and she
difficult to stop.
hits it.
One of the biggest
As she's
moments came
dribbling
when
into the
Indiana faced
paint,
Atlanta.
has players
The
cutting
Fever
off
found
of her.
themselves trailing heading into the fourth quarter. On the road, against a team that had every
tonight.
reason to protect its
Kia
home court.
Nurse again.
This was the
feeding
type of
Angel.
situation where an
Great strike
MVP
on the other.
candidate has to take
And it's
control.
Soki able to lay
And
it
Clark
Hines
did
Allen
exactly
just
that.
knows that she's
Indiana
going to be
fought
there
back
when
and
she
forced the
draws
game
the
into
big.
overtime.
Just a
Clark
lot stronger
played
than
heavy
the other
minutes,
because of her
continued
experience
creating
and maturity.
opportunities,
Reese,
and helped guide the
miss.
offense through one
She'll
of
try
the
to put it
toughest
back.
stretches of
Feeds
the game.
Cardoso.
She finished with a
Minute
major
for two.
stat line that included
Graduate, I was a
26
thank you,
points
Lottie.
and 9 assists.
As
But the most important
Boston
part
with
wasn't just the
14.
numbers.
She's 5 of
It
7
was a
from the
control.
ice look from
When
Clark, and
Atlanta sent
Smith
extra
lays it
defenders
home.
toward her,
You have 2
Clark
assists.
kept
And
moving the
Cardoso
ball.
keeps
When
rolling.
the defense
All
switched,
10 of this guy's
she
first.
recognized
30.
an answer. When her
Clark on the
teammates
spin
got
inside
open,
and
she
banks
found
it in
them.
and draws
That
the
is
floor.
the difference
Smith,
between
no.
simply having a great
Clark
scoring
the
night
rebound,
and
pushing
actually
pace
controlling
first
the
and a bucket on the
basketball
first 3
game. And
possessions.
Clark was
Quarter we have seen Caitlin Clark
Aliyah
play.
Boston played an
7-point
important
effort,
role inside.
which was her
Kelsey
23rd of her
Mitchell
career on
continued
Thursday.
providing
Foul
scoring.
2.
Lexi Hull contributed on the
Donato
defensive end.
hauling in 7 for
Sophie
Indiana.
Cunningham brought
Clark
energy,
trying to go all the way in,
rebounding, and
reverses it
physicality
home.
off the bench.
Showing what
That is
made
what
her
made
such-
the Fever comeback so impressive.
Clark.
Clark was leading
Well,
the
we have to
offense,
check to see if you
but the entire
were
team
able to
was
use
contributing.
Texas and
Rebounds
Indiana
again. She was named to
eventually
the Wood
escaped with a
Award late season
95 to
top
91
20.
overtime victory and continued building momentum.
Wants the screen from
For
Boston. Clark
It was
bounce.
another important moment.
the
in
feet
MVP
underneath back
conversation.
Finlay working
Big
against your
players are
room.
judged
Oklahoma in the same
When the
broadcast.
game gets
Inside
people
Elizabeth
remember what
Williams.
happened. Do you disappear
Needs some
or
empty
do you
space
take
on the
control?
shelf to roll into
And
the
on
finish.
that night,
Boston on the
Clark
roll.
helped push pushing Indiana
Lays it
across the
in.
finish line.
That's
While
what a
Caitlin
move
Clark
there.
and Indiana
That was
celebrated
Caitlin
with
Samuelson
huge
at the 4.
Angel Reese found herself at the center of another
Chicago's
difficult
led by
moment.
8.
Late in the
Dallas
game,
is led.
there was an
Crazy,
opportunity.
too.
The score was close. The pressure was
Man
high.
action is just
and
so
Reese had a
dynamic.
chance to make a major play. But the finish didn't go down.
Mark
The missed
bounce it.
opportunity
Smith
quickly
again.
became one of the biggest
By
talking
6.
points from the game.
Off the leg
And that
of
is the
Smith. Here
difficult
comes
reality of
Vandersloot.
this style.
Caitlin Clark is
Every
on
mistake gets
triple-double
discussed.
watch, and we're not even
Every
halftime.
missed shot gets
Joel
discussed.
using the
Every
screen.
big moment
Clark
gets
evades.
analyzed.
3
For
seconds.
Reese,
Clark.
the criticism
To the
became even
bucket.
louder because questions
Just a
about
great
her finishing
delivery.
around the basket had already been part of the
Atkins
conversation.
launches the three.
She has been an
Over
elite rebounder
Dijon.
and has shown that
Lane
she can
opens up and
impact
she'll
games
lay
with
it in.
energy,
You just
physicality,
can't
and
start the
ability to
spin
attack the
and the
glass.
lay.
But finishing
Looking
consistently
healthy
around
on
the
it.
rim has remained an area where
Putting
critics
it on the
believe
front.
she needs to
Hit the
improve.
long two.
And when a
He's
crucial
ahead.
opportunity doesn't go in, those
Atkins also
conversations
scoreless
become
so
even
far.
louder.
Per second.
Still, one missed shot does not define an entire player. Every great basketball player has missed important
Big
shots.
time finish
The
from
real
Clark.
question is what
Stays
happens
here with
next.
Indiana.
Does Reese
Clark, a
respond?
deep one.
Does she
You are in.
improve? Does she
Reese
turn the
rips down the
criticism
rebound,
into
pivoting.
motivation?
Reese off the
Because the
bell.
pressure
Watch
around
it.
her is only going to continue. Every time Caitlin
Clark, this
Clark delivers
presentation of the
another huge
WNBA
performance,
will continue
fans will
after these
compare the two.
messages.
Every time Reese is a difficult game,
Brooklyn
social
logo
media will
bomb.
react.
The Goliaths.
That is simply the reality of
crucial
being
2
two of the
points
biggest
for
stars in
Chicago.
women's basketball
Ahead for
today.
Davis.
But the comparison doesn't have to be about tearing one
Hands in a
player
word.
down to support the other. Clark and Reese are completely different styles.
Kimbrough,
Clark
she will
dominates in
launch.
shooting, passing, and offensive creation.
Getting rebounder
Reese
in the
creates
W,
impact
gets
through
the offensive
rebounding,
board, watch the drop step, and then
physicality,
Been built
energy,
for this.
and interior play.
All season long,
Both
the
players
word
are
for them
important,
has been
but
Clark
during
with
this particular
haste
stretch,
through the lane.
Clark's
will
performances
lay
have
it
been
in.
impossible to
Nice
ignore.
pass there to Clark.
This is where the
Clark
debate
behind the
gets
back.
interesting. Because
Just
there
a
are
little
several
shoulder
incredible
to
players
create some
competing for
space
recognition
and then
across
be
the
able to
league.
score.
Agile Wilson continues to be one of the most dominant players in
Sonato
basketball.
gets some.
Other
And
styles
they
have
talk about
produced
wanting to
huge
be more
scoring and
aggressively
rebounding
at the
numbers.
point of attack.
So why is
The
Caitlin
finish.
Clark's name becoming
Brilliant
such a
from
major
Caitlin
part of
Clark.
the MVP
Or
discussion?
over to
The
Tasha.
answer comes down to overall impact.
Here's Van Lith.
Clark is not
Started
just
here the
putting
second
points on the
half.
scoreboard.
For
She is
Caitlin Clark,
generating
they're
points.
tracking her.
And that's
Her
exactly
scoring
what
creates
LA does.
problems. Her passing
And welcome
creates
back to
opportunities.
Los.
Her presence changes defensive games. And her teammates benefit from the attention
Into the
she
corner.
receives.
Reese will try
There's
again.
also the question of winning.
Every
MVP
move that she
conversations
makes.
always become more
Clark will
complicated
loft
when
them.
team
Angeles, Caitlin
success
Clark.
enters the picture. A player can have
And they get the
incredible
rebound
individual
sheet.
statistics, but voters often ask one important question.
Probing.
How
Knock
much
it
is this
down.
player
Angel
contributing
Reese
to
from
winning
three. New York
Clark's
here.
approach has
Up
come to
there. Switch it
Indiana
in with a three.
The way the offense operates
Such-
around her,
Gets down
and her
court,
ability
calling
to
for the
deliver in
ball.
important moments. Her critics may argue
Drags
that
out
other
Nelson
players have
Adota.
stronger
Clark
individual
will
statistics
fire.
in certain categories.
17
And
point
that is
lead. They're
what
large
makes
to the
the
game.
debate
And
interesting.
they haven't even really
There
got
is no
going for
single
a quick
statistic that can
release.
completely define an
Open
MVP.
look here for Chapman.
Points
And it's
matter,
Clark
assists matter,
finding Cunningham
Rebounds
on the
matter.
back cut because, as you
Defense
mentioned,
matter.
the three.
winning matches.
Caitlin
Leadership
Clark with her
matters.
third
And
three.
sometimes
Three, and it's
the
Reese
most valuable
pops it
player
in.
is the one
Plus
whose
the
absence
foul,
will
big first
completely change the
half.
identity of the team.
Sonato with the
That is the
rebound.
argument
Falls
becoming
in about
stronger
7
around
again.
all
her.
that attention on
If you
Caitlin Clark
remove her from
in that
Indiana's
close defeat
offense,
to Dallas on
everything
Saturday.
changes. The pace changes. The spacing changes.
Out from
The
Angel
passing
Reese.
changes.
Percentage.
The entire
Angel
system
Reese
is
having
different.
probably
That is value.
Look at Clark.
And that is why the
Yes.
MVP conversation
She gets
is
to that.
becoming
a great
impossible
inbounds
to
play
avoid.
to Harris.
There is another part of the story that goes
And
beyond
Wallace.
basketball. Caitlin
The
Clark has become one of
Best
the
game
biggest
of her
attractions
season
Yeah.
so far here
when
early.
she plays. People watch. Arenas fill up. Television audiences increase. Social media explodes with
Down
highlights,
to 9.
debates, reactions, and arguments. Her impact has reached
She's
far
close to a
beyond
double-double already with
and whether
11
people love
points,
her,
8 boards. and
criticize her, or simply tune in to see what happens next.
She's a great
There's no
rebounder.
denying that
With
Clark
2:09
generates
to go
attention.
here in
That
LA.
matters. The WNBA is growing. More fans are watching. More games are receiving
As you mentioned,
national
very efficient.
More
Nice pull
brands
from
are
beyond
investing
the
in
arc.
women's
Two
basketball.
of them. She
And
pokes it
Clark
over
has become
behind.
one of the biggest names
Smith
connected
did
to
not
that
see her
program.
coming.
Clark
But she is not
pass break.
responsible for
Caitlin
building
Clark
it.
showing off the
The league
speed.
is
She
filled
was
with
mentioned.
talented players.
Clark
Agile
circling
Wilson,
around, sets up
Brianna
Samuelson, who's
Stewart,
wide open.
Angel
Team.
Reese, Aliyah Boston,
Right,
Kelsey
Howard is
Mitchell,
0-3.
and many others. The difference is that
pass
Clark has
inside,
become a major
Sonato.
entry point for
She's
these fans.
just gone back.
She brings
Billings,
in people
another
who may
offensive
not have
rebound. She's
previously
been
watched the WNBA.
Absolutely
And
blow
once
the
they
roof
start
off.
watching,
But
they
playing at
discover
UConn.
the rest of the league. That is a
In
major
low,
part of
Reese
her
and
value.
one.
Her impact isn't limited to the box score. It extends to the audience.
Absolutely, and it's because
And
of
that
the
is why
active-
the debate around her can become so emotional. Some
Clark
fans
back. She
believe
is
the
used to
attention she
all of
receives
this.
is completely
Caitlin
justified
Clark,
because of the
rookie
production
on
and
Jones.
popularity.
Floating
Others believe
over
the
Reese, no
conversation can sometimes overlook
Her
other
attitude, not her
incredible players.
statistics. She has
Both
the
sides
guts to
will
pull a
continue
shot like that in the club.
Get
But
up
one
and
thing is
dropping a
clear.
three.
When Caitlin Clark is playing at her best, the entire basketball world is paying attention. As the NBA conversation continued, attention also turned toward comments involving Caitlin Clark and injuries. The rivalry between these two players has followed them from college basketball into the WNBA. Every matchup becomes a headline. Every quote gets analyzed. Every interaction becomes a social media debate. That is why comments surrounding Clark's success immediately created attention. Fans began comparing the performances. They compared statistics. They compared team success. They compared clutch moments.
Up in the air and then find an angle to finish.
They argued about who deserved more recognition. But this is where things can become complicated. Basketball debates often become emotional. Fans choose sides. And once people choose sides, every mistake from the opposing player becomes ammunition. A missed layup becomes
Reese offensive rebound.
Bad shooting night becomes a trending topic. Controversial comment becomes evidence in an argument that may have started months earlier.
It was pressure,
that is the
but
environment
Caitlin
both
Clark
Clark and
handles
Reese
right here. She crosses
The
sides
best
of the floor.
response
She gets
for both
Tech
players.
gets
Will
the
always
foul
happen on
and the
court.
bucket.
Clark can
Angel.
continue proving her value
That
through
did not
scoring,
go her way.
passing, and winning. Reese can continue improving her offensive game
Beaver
while
with the ball here,
dominating the
down by
boards and
4.
bringing
Mitchell
her
physicality
hips
every
and
night.
shoulders
The
past
rivalry
Laney,
doesn't need to
and
end.
she leans.
In fact,
Reese
it may
guiding
become one of the most
Chicago.
important rivalries
And you
in
can see the
women's
mindset today.
basketball.
Back for
But
Clark.
the best
She'll launch
rivalries
it.
are built
Got it.
through competition. Not just
Back
comments.
into the game.
Not just social
14
media.
points here tonight.
Not just fan
Clark off the
arguments.
screen.
The games have decided the conversation. And fans are going to keep watching every step of the way. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are connected in the minds of basketball fans. Whether they like it or not, their careers will
Inside
probably be
Hines Allen
compared
for
to
2.
yours. They entered the professional league with massive expectations. They brought enormous fan bases with them. And they immediately became two of the most discussed athletes in the sport. But their careers do not need to follow the same path. Clark is building her identity as a dynamic offensive creator. Reese is building hers as a relentless rebounder and physical force. Both can succeed. Both can become franchise-defining
You know what?
players.
Don't forget
And
Shimmy.
both will
Clark
face a
with an
lot of
open look.
pressure. Right now,
Triple.
though, the momentum in this particular
Circles
MVP
around,
discussion
fires
is
away.
clearly surrounding Caitlin Clark.
Knocks it
Her
down.
recent performances, offensive impact,
Here at a
and
career-
ability
And
to lead
Jason,
Indiana
I
through
still
difficult
get
games have
buckets.
strengthened her case. The Fever are finding ways to win. Her teammates are benefiting from her playmaking. And every major performance adds another chapter to the conversation. For Angel Reese, the challenge is
Step back.
different.
Going
She
right-
needs to respond to the criticism by continuing to
Griffin loves that
develop,
face-up game block from
improving
it.
her finishes, making better decisions in key moments,
Gotta pick up
and showing that one
Clark.
difficult stretch does not
Beautiful
define her
find.
career.
Mitchell
That is
right.
what makes
I
sports
may
interesting.
add, it's usually
One
step
week
back
can
going
change the entire
left.
conversation.
I know by
A player
Reese.
who struggles today can dominate
Phoenix
tomorrow.
is going to take a lot
And a
of
player
Two.
receiving MVP praise today can
And that's what
face
separates
adversity
her.
the next
Three-level
day.
score.
Nothing is guaranteed.
The no
But
look
right
pass and
now,
the no look
Caitlin
shots.
Clark has the attention of the basketball world. When you look at everything happening,
threes, and Sachin
MVP
hasn't shot
debate
the
has
three
become
well
about
particularly,
much more
but that's a
than
good
statistics.
start.
It is about production,
Another one there
leadership,
for Warnock.
winning, clutch performances, and overall
And this young
impact.
Washington group
Caitlin
has answered
Clark has been
Clark
checking
over
many of those
Horston.
boxes
Hits a
during this
three.
stretch. She has delivered huge scoring games. She has created
going
opportunities
against
for
Alyssa
teammates. She has
50
helped
seconds to
Indiana
go.
win difficult games.
The
And she
player of the
continues
year
to
right
make
back.
history while becoming one of the biggest names in
Hines Allen
basketball.
on a handoff.
Angel Reese, meanwhile,
No bounds.
remains one of the most important young players
The
in the
back door with
WNBA.
Rebecca Allen
Her
on the receiving
rebounding,
end for
energy,
her first
and
assist.
physical
Candidate
presence give her a
Clark with it.
unique role in the league.
Trying
But
to
she
make a
also
move.
faces an
To
important
Clark.
challenge,
Oh, yeah.
turning criticism into improvement and continuing to develop her offensive game.
Horston's
The
got to
rivalry
come with
between
hands
these two
up. You
stars
can't
is
let
far
Reese
from
made the All-Star
If
game 3 of her
anything,
last 4
it is only
seasons, now
getting
defending in the
started.
post.
And as the MVP race continues, every game will matter. Every big performance will
Will
matter.
it be Mitchell?
Every
Will
clutch
it be
shot
Clark?
will matter. So now
Clark
the question
Siegel
goes,
Picked up by Clarity.
asterisk, is Caitlin Clark the
Reese.
strongest MVP candidate right
Nice
now?
cut. Finding
Asterisk.
Williams for 2 more.
And who do you think has the biggest impact on the WNBA today? Let me know in the
Cunningham
comments below.
looking. First it's
If
Hines
you
Allen.
enjoyed this
Handoff
video,
Clark.
make sure
Right
to
there to
like,
help. Nice pass back.
and turn on
Finlay. How did-
notifications for more WNBA news.
She's a 3-and-D
debates,
player.
highlights,
She's really
and breaking
built
basketball stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.